The Leader of the Opposition.
Mr President, on behalf of the Labor opposition, I rise to support the sentiments expressed by the Leader of the Government and the motion. We are, all of us on this side of the House, deeply saddened at the passing of Dr John Kaye. He was one of the state's most effective and formidable politicians, and certainly made his presence felt, both here and the wider community. His profile in the state's political and parliamentary discussions, I think it can be said, was beyond the proportion to be expected of his formal position as an upper house member of a minor party. And he made this significant impact by his powerful intellect and his relentless energy, even if many of us on this side of the House wished he wasn't so good at getting on the morning ABC. John had a very clear left-wing view of the world, and he took a consistent left position on all matters. However, his consistent and principled views were also accompanied by a capacity to get on well with people across the political spectrum and from all walks of life. And I think it was his capacity to connect with people which was profound, which was one of the key features that struck me about John when I came to know him. He was never mean-spirited and was never motivated by malice in his approach to others, regardless of who they were or the views they expressed. But I think it's also important to acknowledge that although he was motivated by a passionate commitment to a range of issues, John was also a formidable machine politician, something I think that's not always appreciated about him. He played a key role in building his party, both here in the Parliament and in the broader community. And he was also a powerful player in the internal intrigues that are a hallmark of all political parties, great and small. John Kaye had an outstanding academic achievements, including a PhD from the University of California, Berkeley, and lectured in electrical engineering at the University of New South Wales for many years. And that discipline, that electrical engineering background, no doubt, shaped the intellectual rigour that he always brought to policy debates and his capacity to tackle complex problems with his complex solutions. John Kaye also made his mark on a number of issues as a member of this Parliament, the first and foremost of which was public education. Renewable energy and electoral funding law reform were also important to him. And of course, as the Leader of the Opposition in the other place noted, he played an important role in stopping the construction of the dam at Tilligra. In my time as a member of the Legislative Council, I collaborated with John on a number of issues: medicinal cannabis, homeschooling, electricity privatisation, and we also battled on a few others about electoral donations, restricting donations to natural persons, and of course on whether parents could have a genuine scientific belief against vaccination. And I think this last point is an illustration that in politics we all make accommodations to the views of others in our political parties. But whatever perspective we had, at all times I found him to be warm, direct, thoughtful and smart. He was a friend, he was often a collaborator. He believed passionately in the role of this Parliament as an institution, separate to executive government, holding executive government to account whichever side of the aisle they came from. He was an outstanding parliamentarian. The intensity of his passion for public education and public enterprises, of the contribution that collective action can make to the common good and our shared future as a society, was infectious to all those who came into contact with him. He was funny, he was charismatic. He inspired people to have an interest and to participate in politics, and it wasn't restricted to his own political party. On behalf of the Labor opposition, I extend our sympathies to his party colleagues, his friends, and above all to his family, and in particular to his partner, Lynn.